Hello guys and welcome back to the Simply Code programming channel. This is Vikesh and let's get started with today's topic, which is about installing Eclipse on a Windows machine. So in today's session, we are going to see how we can install Eclipse so that we can run our Java programs in the upcoming lectures. So the first thing which we need to do is to download Eclipse. So for that, I'm just going to open my web browser and type Eclipse download, press enter, and then you need to find the link which says eclipse.org/downloads, which is the first link in my search results. You can also see it says Eclipse downloads, the Eclipse Foundation, and Eclipse Foundation is the organization which maintains the Eclipse installers. So we can click on this. Once we click on this, we will be redirected onto the Eclipse downloads page. And there again, you will see a bunch of options. You will see the default option highlighted, which would be the Eclipse installer for JRE, for Mac OS, Windows, and Linux. And then you have some other tool platforms option as well, like Eclipse G or Orion, which you might want to use for advanced cases. But for running Java applications, all you need is an Eclipse installer, which is coming from here. So based on your machine, Eclipse will automatically detect whether you want a 64-bit installer or a 32-bit installer. And you can just click on this particular link, which says download 64-bit here. So I'm just going to hit download 64-bit. It is going to open this particular screen where, based on your current location, Eclipse will suggest the nearest possible distribution mirror. Distribution mirror is basically a server which is present somewhere in this world, which contains this Eclipse installer exe. And Eclipse has created these servers all across the globes. These servers are basically called the mirrors. And based on your current location, which will be taken from your ISP, from the internet IP address from which you are accessing this particular website. So based on your ISP location, it is going to suggest you the nearest possible mirror location so that your download is the fastest. So in my case, the nearest location is Netherlands here, as you can see, and I get a download option. This is the file name, which says Eclipse installer JRE Windows 64.exe. And if you think that this mirror doesn't make sense, just click on this option, select another mirror, and then you can choose another mirror. But generally it works really well. It works based on your IP location, and it's generally the download speed is pretty good based on the suggested mirror. So I'm not going to change the mirror location because I think this works fine for me. So, and I'm just going to click on this particular button, which is going to start the download of the Eclipse installer. So now I have hit the download button, and you can see right now an exe has begun to download. It is going to again take some time, and I have already downloaded this particular exe just to save us some time, and I'm going to use that exe to showcase how we can install it. Another thing just wanted to highlight is that Eclipse is an open source organization. It works on donations. So if you feel generous about it and if you feel that Eclipse is doing really great work, you can also donate to it, which will show here. So we can move to the next step, which is about installing. So you can see here, I have an installer here, an exe file basically, which I have pre-downloaded to showcase this demo. I'm just going to double click on this, and it is going to unpack the installer. You can see this icon will be presented to you, which says Eclipse installer by Oomph. Oomph is basically the provider for this particular installer who manages the installer. And based on your computer's capacity and speed, it is going to take few seconds. And in the background, what it is doing is basically it is unpacking this installer and creating all the installation files which it needs to successfully install it on your computer. Once that is done, you will be presented with this kind of screen, and you will see that Eclipse provides multiple different kind of IDEs for different set of developer communities. You will see an option which says Eclipse IDE for Java developers. You will also see Eclipse IDE for enterprise Java developers. You will see the IDE for C++ and C developers, web and JavaScript, PHP, Eclipse committers who basically contribute to the Eclipse organization, or RCP, RAP, tester, scientific computing. There are tons of IDEs which Eclipse maintains. For our use case throughout this series, I think we will be focusing on this particular IDE, which says Eclipse IDE for enterprise Java developers. You can also use this particular IDE, but this is a very bare bone IDE with very limited set of integrations. Like it says, it includes a Java IDE, a Git client, an XML editor, a Maven plugin, and a Gradle plugin. But if you look at the enterprise, you will get more integrations. You can use this particular IDE to work on whatever you work here. So these all will work here. But in addition, you can also use this IDE to build a web application, build a web service, build a JPA application, data tools, Java server pages, faces, etc. So this is more advanced, I would say. And we will go with this particular IDE. And you can also choose this IDE if you want to, but for this demo, we are going to choose this one. I will click on this. Then it is going to show me which virtual machine it is going to use. So if you remember in the previous lecture, we installed Java 15. It has automatically detected that location by reading my C program files folder, and it has automatically taken that. If you have multiple JDK installations on your machine, you can click on this icon and change a different Java virtual machine. I'm going to leave it as is. Again, the installation folder is also by default taken to your C users username / Eclipse / the JEE version number. And again, if you want to change this, you can also change a different installation folder. I'm going to leave everything as default. It will automatically create a start menu entry and a desktop shortcut. And now I hit install. It might ask you for a user agreement. So you can hit accept now. And now it has begun the installation. The installation generally takes a bit of time to complete in some cases. So again, it depends upon your computer's capacity and speed. Basically, if it's a good robust machine with good capacity, the installation might be very fast, as you can see in my computer. And if you have a computer which is not very strong on configurations, you can just be patient and wait for some time, and the installation will be finished. Once the installation is finished, you will see this launch option here. You will also have an option to keep an installer if you want to, show the README file. But I think the main option here, which we are going to use, is the launch option. So if you hit the launch option, now the actual IDE is going to start up. It's again going to set up some configuration files and some bootstrap configuration files, which it needs to. And then it will ask you to choose a workspace. Again, workspace is up to you. Where you want to create your workspace? The workspace is basically the location where you will create your projects. It will store those project files and the source code of those projects. So it is up to you where you want to create it. Again, I'm going to leave it as default here, but if you want to change it, just hit browse here and choose whatever location you want to. You can see, you can go to PC and you can choose whatever location you want to. I'm going to leave it as is. And you also have a choice that you don't want Eclipse to ask this every time. So you can check this box, and next time Eclipse is not going to ask you to choose a directory as workspace. And every time you start Eclipse, it will automatically go to this particular directory. So you can either check it or uncheck it based on your convenience and hit launch. Once you hit launch, it is going to start the actual IDE as a desktop application, and you will get a nice interface and a welcome screen from Eclipse, which will basically show the basic overview of the screen, something like this. So now you can see that the Eclipse IDE has started. It has a welcome page, which has multiple options. You can check out a project from Git. You can import an existing project. You can go to the marketplace, create a Java web project or whatever, or you can just close this. You have a nice navigation project explorer bar here. So all the projects which you're going to create will be listed here. There are also some quick shortcuts here for creating different kind of projects. And if you don't want to use that, just go to File, New, and choose a kind of project you want to create, whether it is a Maven project or enterprise application project or dynamic web project or just a project. If you just hit just a project, you can choose a basic Java project to start with, click Next, give a project name. Let's call it test demo. You can choose an execution environment here, the JRE, and currently this particular IDE has support up to 14, but I think this is going to work fine. We don't need to worry about it. We can also use a project specific JRE, like in this case, Java 15, which is the current installation. So I can use this option because I want to use Java 15 environment because I have Java 15 installed. So you can basically choose whatever option you want to choose. It gives you a flexibility in terms of choosing the JRE, whether you want to choose an external JRE, whether you want to choose a project specific JRE, or you want to use the default JRE JDK installation. So you can use this option as well if you want to. Project layout is either you want to create separate folders for source and classes, or you want to create the use the project folder. Again, these are just basic configurations which you can play around with if you want to. I'm just going to leave it as is and hit next. And then it is going to just give me a review screen here. If I want to change anything, I can. Otherwise, I can just hit finish. I can create a module name here if I want to, but I don't want to create it. So I just hit on don't create and open the Java perspective. And that's it. You have a Java project here where you can create your Java files under this SRC, and you can start executing those files. We will look out on those details in the upcoming lectures. But for this lecture, I think this is what we wanted to achieve. We wanted to show how we can install Eclipse and how we can create a very sample Java CLI project. So this is it for this session. In the next session, we will look at some of the data types in Java. And if you enjoyed this video, a thumbs up would be massively appreciated. And don't forget to subscribe to Simply Code for more programming related videos. Thank you, and we'll meet again in the next lecture.